You bet. The Fort Collins, this fits into several different plans that Fort Collins has, one of which is our climate action plan, which states that we will reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by 80% by 2030. And it's going to take these types of projects for us to meet that goal. The only council did need to approve the purchase on the base sweeper, but then we were able to get a substantial grant to cover the rest of the purchase. Yeah, we were fortunate to get a grant administered through the Regional Air Quality Council called Alt Fuels Colorado, and that they use Volkswagen settlement funds for that grant program. This sweeper here cost $575,000, and $272,000 of that was funded through the Regional Air Quality Council program. This is a Clipper Creek 100 amp charging station. This is designed to charge this sweeper in about 8 hours if it's completely depleted, and that gives this sweeper about 11 hours of runtime. So we're able to make it through a full shift with the charge.
The charging is simple. You just back it up, plug it in. Lights go on, you're good to go. The training involved, working with Sebastian, the person who set it up, delivered it to us, went through all the correct ways to operate it, things to look for. The actual sweeping operations is very similar to a mechanical sweeper. We have another global that's just like this, except it's diesel operated. The controls are essentially the same. And as far as the effectiveness, it outperforms the other sweepers we have. It just does a great job. No difference. There's a lot of interest in the public. They see it. They can tell it's different because it sounds different. So there's a lot of interest. So that's really the only difference I notice as an operator. There's a lot of oogling. People stop and stare and point at it, wondering, wonder what it is. And they can read what's going on the outside, and clearly they can tell that it's different by the sound. So.
And as a manager, looking at the budget side of it, being all electric, we don't have to worry about oil changes, all the just the filters and all that. That cuts back on that cost too, so that's actually a plus.
Well, the fact that it's electric, plug it in every night. It's so simple. You're not only do you have clean fuel, no emissions, but you're saving time going to the pumps. You don't have the odors of like these other diesel machines. They put off some fumes. Don't have that. That's the most obvious one.
Yep. Kurt is actually the operator, but what I've seen is he'll be sweeping through the neighborhoods. It's quiet. He'll be sweeping by parks. Kids are playing, picnicking, and they don't even know he's there. So that's perfect.
Yeah, and as an operator too, it's a lot quieter inside, less vibrations. So I think it's less fatigue for an operator during a shift, which is an advantage. It's the same as all the other mechanical sweepers or regenerated air sweepers. Dust, like gravel, sand, small pebbles, rocks, branches, Pretty much anything a standard sweeper can pick up. And one of the advantages of this is it's got a large hopper, larger than the others, so we spend less time dumping it. And we don't suffer any sort of power loss. It has the same amount of power, picks up heavy debris just as good as the diesel mechanicals. Yeah, so these hoppers are larger. They hold more material, and they have a load wheel in the front. It's actually loaded from the front and thrown back, so it's more efficient. It fills up a higher percentage of the hopper than the design of these. So we can load more. It's slightly larger, another half cubic yard larger, and then it's more efficient and it loads it to a fuller capacity. So we spend less time dumping. Yeah, we've got a scale system. So each hopper load, when we dump it, is measured, and we've developed a new system this year where we identify where each load is from. Say if it's a residential neighborhood as opposed to an arterial. That way we can look at how much material we're picking up in each residential neighborhood, and hopefully be more efficient as we schedule. Determine where the needs are. And schedule accordingly. But each hopper load is weighed, and it's also we identify where that material is from, and also where it's dumped. We have these roll-off dumpsters that we put around town, and strategically that we dump into. And that way we know if that dumpster is reached its capacity. We stop dumping it and have someone pick it up.
And I just did the numbers a few days ago for my director that so far year to date for this year, we've swept up 2.2 million pounds of debris. Yeah, and that having the scale is a real essential item for each sweeper. Yes, there is. Right now, the city has two methods. They can go online, cityoffortcollins.gov/sweeping, and they can sign up for a notification there, or they can go on Nextdoor. And actually, we're in the works with a pilot program. Well, actually, not a pilot program now. We're working with another company, Rubicon, and our goal is trying to do a same-day notification. That way, before Kurt gets in their neighborhoods, we'll notify them hours before we get in their neighborhood.